What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agreed to Disagree. Saquon Barkley, Zack Baun dominate. We're going to talk about it. Let's go.
Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgazzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Agreed to Disagree, only on A2D Radio every Sunday. We are brought to you by our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, no Brian Wilson. That's Greg Mwakovic. That's Nick Delgazzo. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. Welcome in. Crumb of the week. We do it at the end of every show. Phillies lay egg in Miami in a big way. You know, in a monster way, typical South Beach.
Two nights in a way, 2 nights in a row, too, right?
2 nights in a row. Like you think they, respond today, but we'll talk about that later on the show because it is obviously the start of Eagles season and obviously the start of the NFL season, which is always a great time.
Yep.
We'll talk about key takeaways from the Packers win and Zack Baun, his emergence. I think we all thought he was going to be a good player, right? But did we think he was going to be like this good, right? Because he was all over the
LT.
yeah. Did we think he was going to be all over the football field? Ties into our poll. Zack Baun's performance against the Packers was the most surprising for the Eagles. Do you agree or disagree? It was the most surprising thing for the Eagles. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Let us know. Comment in. Everything Eagles related, obviously, tonight. Everything you got in the chamber, Eagles related. Because it's great to be 1-0, especially when you get to sit back on a Friday. You get that win. Now the rest of the weekend's glorious, right? Sunday's great. You sit back and relax, judge everybody else, right? Now you're judging the world. It was good to be able to sit back and judge the world today and say, you know what, we're probably, we probably are better than 80% of the teams out there.
Yeah.
When you watch what you watch today, right? And we got holes too. So it made for a great weekend. Little Friday night lights. You escape Brazil with a win, and you get a couple extra days off too, and you get the Monday night game. So good things. But was his performance the most surprising thing for the Eagles? If you want to say in good ways, I would say, in good ways, I would say his performance was because I don't know if anybody expected 15 tackles, right? I don't know, right? I didn't expect it.
Solo, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I expect him to be good, right? And you hear a lot of good things about him. You know how great of an athlete he is, etc. But, he's always been a backup, pretty much. Always been a backup guy. Now, he's been under Vic before, but in a backup role. So he understands the defense, but maybe we got something here. Maybe we got a diamond in the rough. A guy who just needed to play. I mean, who knows? I'd have to go through every depth chart he was on to see who played over him. Because maybe there's a better guy who played over him. That happens too. And a guy gets his chance, and I'm not telling you he's getting 11 solo a week, but 15 tackles, right? And if he does, then great. See, in Canton, okay, but in reality, if we get a half the season that kind of production, you get a half the season that kind of production from him, you're like, all right, and the rest of it, he might have 7, whatever. But if you're getting that kind of production, that's a win. That's a big win. I don't know if it's going to keep up. It's a week to week league. It's not a big sample size one game, but it was promising, especially for us in linebackers. Right, we're not necessarily linebacker you here. Right, we don't develop a ton of great linebackers. We don't bring in a ton of great linebackers. Now we've had great linebackers if you want to date the organization, of course, right? But over the last decade, hey, how many great linebackers been here? Right?
No, they told us for a long time that they don't value that position. To the point where as much as the rest of us do.
Yeah.
they were just going to plug regular humans in there instead of, we like superstars. We like our guys to go. We like our guys to go sideline to sideline and wreak havoc.
Yeah, so I'll agree. I mean, he was the most surprising thing. And on a positive note, negative note, most surprising is, Jalen's 2 interceptions, and especially the last one. So I would say that, like, negative wise, that'd probably be the most surprising because I really expect him to take care of the ball better, right? Even though it's week 1, I really did. I really thought he was going to put emphasis on it. I knew he knew he needed to. The second one's inexcusable, right? The first one, like, listen, shit happens. You watch enough football around the way, shit happens. The second one, when it's on you, just to take the points, that's the one that's inexcusable. So that one that's got to get cleaned up. So that would be my negative per se performance that surprised me because I didn't think he was going to make those types of mistakes. So what do you guys say?
Yeah, it's probably between both of those guys. I mean, it's probably between Baun and Barkley. I mean, you're not, Barkley's a superstar, but your first game with a new team, and they just, he was awesome. He probably could have had 4 touchdowns. So, it's a hell of a, hell of a start for him. I thought the offensive line, played well for the most part. The snap, the early snap probably, that's you get those kinks out. And Jalen wasn't ready for it. But I mean, 15 total tackles. That's it's hard. It's hard not to agree. So I'd probably agree as well. But throwing a little side of Barkley in there too, just for that dominance. Especially coming in, he was banged up. I think a couple of days prior to that, he went on the injury report, which is par for the course in the NFL. And Giants fans were giggling and couldn't get to their computers quick enough to say, "I told you so." And sorry, I think there's a frog, little toad in my basement. Sorry.
Nice.
Hey, you got in there, sir?
We saw a larger than normal lizard down in Miami today.
What he's doing over there?
I was muted. I said, "Oh my God, I'm sure he'll be down this way soon." Let him go.
It's because Bianca, she always collects them. She probably brought him in. Little toad. Yeah. So I thought, we knew that. I want to, like I said, when I say surprise, surprising is just because of the type of things that we know he's capable of doing, but just to see it up close, you don't see the Giants all the time. There's probably about 3 running backs in the league that can make that catch on that wheel route.
Yeah.
Just a great throw, dropped it in there, but I mean that's an unbelievable catch. And it was just, you just hope he stays healthy because he's a tremendous talent. Whether you're an Eagles fan or not, he's good for the league. He's just, he's an electric player and a great dude.
A grinder. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Guy who grinds it. And yeah, I mean, that's the difference. He's a 3-down back, right? We talked about it when we signed him, right? The difference is when you can have an opportunity to sign a 3-down back, not just somebody who's electric, but somebody who can block and somebody who can make catches like that, you do it. And you can see right off the bat, like I said, no excuse for this offense to not average 30 a night, right? For the season. No excuse. Right? And they come out week 1 after people told me, "Oh, be careful, Tom." Like, no, they should score a lot of points. Like they should. It's not now if guys get hurt, of course, right? Everything changes on that. But on paper, that's how good they looked. So that it's great that they came out and did that right away. But Baun's performance was really good. I mean, he was to me, he was the best player on the defense. It wasn't even close. Like I think Q was close. Quinion was close. Quinion was really close because for a rookie, just the physicality, right? And I love the shit talk. Go ahead, get after it. I like this to know you're engaged like that because we lack that physicality at the cornerback position, right? We have a guy who wants to tackle. I mean, we talked about it the night, the post game show, Greg. The one play out of bounds, right, late in the game on that one throw where he came up and I think it might have been Watson. I don't know who caught it, but it was Reed, and he smoked him. He smoked him. He hit him hard out of bounds. I was like, oh, that's like not a safety. That's a corner. Okay. You know what I mean? I like that. I like that. Now, and from Toledo, you don't know what you're getting. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Marion Arnold, we knew what we were getting to a point, right? No, I don't want to hear him. He's going against Cooper Kupp tonight. It's not even fair. So I don't want to judge Terry Arnold for one night either. But but at least I have a better idea. So that performance was good too.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you guys have said too, right? Like we're kind of putting on the back burner a guy who scored a hat trick in his first game with his new team, right? Like we knew the explosiveness that we were hoping to get, right? We were hoping. We all saw this in our dreams, but then to see him go out and do it, right? But I'm also going to agree to the poll. Yes, you absolutely have to give flowers to Saquon because he's electric all night. You just go back to kind of what kind of this long story with, right? Unheralded free agent signing, wasn't signed for a lot of money, right? Wasn't signed like Derek White money, right? Or Derek White, pomp and circumstance, right? It was just brought in as a special teams guy that knew Vic Fangio's system, and he showed out throughout all post or preseason and training camp, and then was able to get the job done on Friday because he was all over the field, and he was awesome.
I didn't realize he had 2 sacks. Jesus, it's not.
He had
close.
the 2
Great,
sacks.
yeah, great. I know. I'm just saying, it was already a good poll question. I loved it, but I mean, and we all agreed. But holy cow, Batman! I totally forgot about the 2 sacks. Forgot about the 2 sacks.
I say like the only 2 sacks.
Blankenship was awesome too.
He was
a monster interception. Another, he 8 tackles. He had, he defended a couple pass defended. I think two or three PD in the defensive back verbiage.
I mean, the most disappointing was probably Avonte Maddox in coverage to me.
Yeah.
Most disappointing.
And apparently you can't say the guy didn't have a good game, but CJGJ also, right? He missed a few tackles, but God forbid you criticize him. His half the city now puts him on a pedestal now too.
Might want to put his phone down. I was him too, though, right? Oh, I'm sure he had his defense team. Yeah.
His defense team came out.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, listen, nobody's out here talking about, trying to,
But that was him. That was him that responded angrily, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's the one that went on live.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like nobody's saying it's hard to. Yeah, nobody's saying it's hard to you're gonna stop Jordan Reed one-on-one in the open field, especially on that one play where you're going hard and he stops on a dime, right? And obviously the surfaces, whatever were what they were. I'm not saying you're not saying you're making that tackle anyway. You went on a slip.
Right.
That's how much you have to jockstrap there. That happens, bro. Like nobody's saying that any of us are going to do that. We're not getting paid. You know what I mean? That's a great thing when athletes say that. Like when athletes say, "You step out here, you come on out and do what we do." Well, we can't. Nobody's saying we can't. But we're going to criticize you because you're the best of the best. So when you don't do it, you get criticized. It ain't about us coming out there. You know what I mean? That's the worst argument of all time. So you can beat a 40-year-old. You can beat a 35-year-old who's 300 now. You know what I mean? And can't play anymore.
That's what happens. Then it leaks down. It leaks down to the dry jocks, and then they use it, and they act like it's a family member. Like, it's crazy to me. Sports is nuts, man. You can, you have no problem defending guys. If people are trashing a guy for their character and all that stuff, and but to say like, hey man, this guy needs to tackle better, and for him to come back with a nasty response like that, this is your second time here, buddy. You gave a semi middle finger on your way out, and then you kind of came back in like Homer Simpson through the bushes because you wanted to come back to have a chance to win. And you wanted to come back here, but it's just hearing all the other fans and their responses, like, the internet's just a bad place. I'm sure you can do it off your couch. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
No, I
and the
agree with
Tristan's
that, though,
comment,
Tristan.
absolutely,
Yeah, I agree with
Tristan.
that.
It is
I
huge
agree.
for him being back, and no
I
one's
like the
running
fact
him
that
out
he'll
of
just
town.
talk shit. The fans,
No one's running out of the town.
everybody.
It just wasn't a great game. That's all we're saying.
No, but you can't tell. You can't tell certain guys that, right? Because certain, I mean, even more so, like this generation, that as year and year goes on, as years continue to go on, it's more and more glued to their phone.
Yes.
So they're immediately going to Twitter, and if people are saying anything bad,
checking the replies.
it's like Joe from Mount Airy, who's like 58, like fucking can't tackle somebody in the snow, right? You can't tackle somebody one-on-one running right at him in the snow and fucking 10 inches, and you're gonna tell him to come on out, come on out to the Novacare. Like, come on. That's where these guys got to take it with a grain of fucking salt. Now, some guys need it because, like, guys like him, I feel like will use it because he's a guy that just seems like some guys look for it because they're looking for motivation, whatever, right? Like, they're all different, but if you're using it, use it. Use it and go have a big game Monday night. That's all. There's no biggie on normal conditions for everybody because
at
again,
home. Go ball out.
What's the next game? 2031 Iraq games. We're gonna play in Iraq. We're gonna play in goddamn Baghdad. I mean, it's just at this point, like, what are we doing? Like, there's soccer fields aren't meant for, like, you can read like not TJ Watt, but JJ Watt put out the one thing about like the difference from soccer fields and football fields. The way there's like they're the way they're prepped. Like, it's this 101. Nobody's bitching. Like I feel bad for any team that loses on that kind of shit, right? Because I wouldn't want to. We've been that against Kansas City. Like, she didn't have bad surfaces. Like, that's absurd. The amount of money, like, the NFL should be down there, like, putting in a brand new surface. You'd be growing that.
And what's amazing,
what's
amazing,
even one step
they're
further.
so particular with their specs of the field. Like, they're so particular. I don't understand how they allow this stuff to happen.
But you can take it even one step further. I mean, Phil Knight has all the money in the world, right? There's your opportunity. You had a year. You can make a soccer shoe with a high top because like football guys like a high top. So make the bottom like a soccer shoe. Right? Soccer guys never slip. You know what I mean? So what I know, I understand it's a different shoe, and football guys are large humans. You know what I mean? But and I get it. But I mean, like, you're right. It's not the field. It was awful. It was absolutely horrible conditions for both teams. But yeah, the NFL dropped the ball like you.
Why not a rugby shoe?
Per usual, something. I mean,
why not a rugby shoe? What's a rugby shoe? Is a rugby cleat different? Like, almost somebody out there. I mean, now is a rugby cleat different from your regular football cleat per se, or is it the same? I need to know that answer because I would just want to wonder. Where's Jordan Mailata at? I mean, what would Mailata wear?
Apparently, I can't make it from the sideline to the huddle, and I'm not saying they're not wrong, but I wouldn't know the difference between a football shoe and a rugby shoe.
Yeah, the limited rugby action I've seen, it looks like a littler shoe. That's what I would say.
It was a little. They are little shoes.
Yeah.
Little baby shoes.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I can't believe we're talking about. Where's the shit they wear? But no, I mean, it's just common sense. Like, there's no thought of that goes into it until you're there playing. I feel like, from players, everybody, like, like, there's no thought. Like, as a player, you thinking the surface is gonna be bad? No, that's the least of your thought process going to Brazil, right? Yeah. When you find out you can't go on Twitter and you probably shouldn't bring your family. Like, right? Last thoughts. What shoes? What cleat am I wearing? But John, you're right, John. John says my biggest concern was the lack of pressure from our new edge rushers. Edge rusher, he says he was MIA, and please NFL stop the fun with flags BS. No, Bryce Huff was not. I didn't even know he played. Didn't even know he played. And Tristan says how amazing is AJ Brown. We're lucky to have him. Yeah, I mean Wilson. The one night tried telling me he wasn't top 5 in the league. So
you still put Devontae Adams up there. I saw that.
Yeah, that was a fun
love
night.
Devontae, but he's no longer top 5 or number 1.
No, I'm just saying. I just to have not have AJ Brown as a top 5 guy is a little weird. Is a little strange. Yeah. A lot of great wide receivers. I get it, but that dude's a fucking specimen.
Yeah, you don't have to like him, but I mean,
he's a monster.
He's very good.
Monster. It's fun that. And Devontae looks like he even got better. He even got faster a little bit. He even looked
Speaking
quicker.
of those two, I don't know if you saw it. Barkley's long run, I had a friend of mine send it to me because I didn't see it in real time. But on Barkley's long run, it was AJ and Devontae out there, right, on blocking. And I guess AJ didn't think Devontae got his block at good enough, right? And probably thought that he could have broke Saquon if he would have gotten his block. So after Saquon goes down, AJ runs back to Devontae and gets right in his grill. And you could see Devontae go and kind of oh, I know, man, I missed it, my bad. But I didn't see it in real time, but going back and seeing it again, it was that's awesome that this team, or at least that group, has that accountability with each other, that they're able to go and be like, yo, you missed that. And then Devontae had the self, understanding that, yes, I did miss that. And that's on me, right? I thought that was a really cool moment. And like I said, I didn't see it in real time. I had to, my boy Jeff to look back at it, and you're like, oh my God, that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, and listen, it could be an opportunity for growth because that's been his biggest thing. I don't think if you don't put him in the top 5, it's because maybe you don't like him, you don't like his attitude, but surely not from talent and from or his ability to break a game open. It's been the time that he's been here. It's been there's been a little bit of a diva talk. There's been a little bit of a woe is me if I'm not getting the ball. Stuff like that, like a little standoffishness, and maybe everybody's reading that wrong. I don't think that we are, but maybe we are. So I think everybody saw that. So maybe he saw how last year ended. Didn't make the trip to the playoff game, right? I think we determined that, right? He stayed home.
Yeah,
which we thought was strange, and so maybe he decided, hey, it's time. It's the time for me to to be a leader. Not just with my play on the field, everything I do. Everybody. These guys look up to. These guys look up to him. So that's I didn't see that, and that's it's a good tidbit out of you, Greg. I appreciate that, and like I said, hopefully that's a growth moment for him. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's important because he needs to be one of the leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's still young. He's still young, so a lot of that's maturity too, right? A lot of that's maturity and growing up, and again, some of it's just being uber competitive too, right? And I think when TV cameras get on guys, sometimes we can misjudge them too, of just the competitive side of it, especially even in this sport where it's a ton of emotion. It's all emotion driven. So, and wide receivers are better known for that. But I thought the crazy thing is Saquon Barkley, his debut, that's the best debut in Eagles green since T.O., which is fun. If he gives us let's go. If he gives us T.O. vibe.
I was just going to say Cooper Kupp scored, so now they're going to need Lions down 3-4 to go. I don't know how. I mean, like you said, we're talking real life here, but just fantasy wise, this guy was on top of the world 2 years ago, and then this year, all the projections were 12th round, and I giggled because Goff loves him, and I'm like, dude, and I didn't pull the trigger in round 7 like I wanted to, you know what I mean? And I think he went in the 9th round. I'm like, how is this happening? What am I doing?
Matty Stafford's doing it. Matty Stafford's doing it with a brand new offensive line.
Yeah. No, he's
on the same team. Guys are the whole offensive line's out.
I'm glad. I'm glad if everyone's on the Lions, I am on the Lions. But I'm glad they're losing because now the half point at that Seattle loss isn't the only one that killed a parlay. So let's go Lions. Let's go Rams. Chop.
Having some technical difficulties down there in Miami.
Southeast crack. Now you're better. It's always now you're better. If we just get a screenshot of your face up. Good.
Subtitle. Hey, subtitle us, would you?
But no. Listen.
Cotton Ball. I think we were too, and I think there was a little prelude to it prelude to this, not that performance, but remember we had talked about it last Sunday with multiple depth charts and not knowing what, who's official or not. But you had said to me, and rightfully so, Avante's the nickel. And I'm like, they got Quentin Mitchell on here, on this depth chart that I saw. And they had, Maddox, way up there backing up at the safety position, so maybe they had saw something, that we were unaware of. But yeah, Cotton Ball, we were all kind of surprised about that performance.
Yeah, because he's always been competitive when he's in,
Yep.
Bill says not trying to be that guy, but D-line looked suspect against the run. We got a little or no pressure, and we know the secondary is what it is. That being said, we're going to need 30 plus a game of share. See, I don't know if the secondary is what it is, Bill. I think the secondary is vastly improved. I think the linebacking core is improved already. And I thought Jordan Davis was physical. I thought Jalen Carter had a good game, right? But again, I didn't think we were good against the run either. Me and Greg had that back and forth the other night. So
yeah, I thought we were good early.
Yeah, no, I mean the reason we won the game is because we were good at stuff early.
Yeah,
the reason we won the game, they had two turnovers in their own end.
Yeah,
you hold them 6-0. I said right then and there. I said right then and there. That's it. This game's over.
That's how you win.
Leonard's like, what do you mean it's over? I said, that's their chance. That's their kill shot. At minimum, you got to walk away with 10. They walk away with 6. There's your difference. There's difference in a football game. It's always the little things when you got two good teams.
Yeah, you're one score down. Yeah. You're one score down. You're down 14, man. That's a whole new ball game, buddy. I mean, then you're fighting City Hall the whole game. So, yeah, agree. A monster job by them on those 2 turnovers.
And I don't think every offense is going to be that offense either, because I think that's a very good offense when Jordan Love obviously is healthy. I think it's a good offense. They got good wide receivers. They got a good running back. It's going to be a good offense. I'm not telling you they're the best offense in football. I'm saying it's a good offense. So I don't want to act like our defense isn't vastly improved, right? Yeah. Vastly improved. And
I don't think you're being that guy, Bill. I mean, that's what it's all about, buddy. That's your opinion. That's what you saw. That's what you feel. You know what I mean? That's what we're all about here, buddy.
The run, I agree with him.
I was just saying. I don't think you have to worry about being that guy. I mean, that's just a statement. You know what I mean? So we hear you, brother.
Yeah, I thought that, like I said, against the run we weren't good enough. But I also think that'll get better. Like
you said, depends who you play. I mean, you're not gonna give up 29. They're not that kind of defense where they're just going to get shredded all year, and they're going to give up 29, and the Eagles got to score 30. You know what I mean? Like, this offense is capable of scoring 30 and probably should, but I don't think there might be a night when, depending on your opponent, when you're going to have to win a shootout, which, we called that, you know what I mean? Like, every once in a while you want to feel good about yourself when you make a prediction. I think said 33-30 or 33-31. That's where we were all in that vicinity.
I was 34-28.
Yeah, we were all in that vicinity. Look at this. They're going to win this. Oh, he dropped it. Ooh.
Right? 34-28, I think I was.
Dropped the pick. Yes. Because I went first, and you were going to go right around me, and then you just changed it a little bit.
Right there, though. We were all like right
we're all
in that conversation.
So, we all felt good about the offense and knowing the Packers are a good football team. Did not expect the 2 early turnovers. I mean, nobody does. You can't game plan for that. So, that's the defense. That's where that game was won. You know what I mean? With all the other outstanding performances that followed. There's the little things in sports that lead to victories. You know what I mean? So all that other stuff was great. All the other individual, Barkley's night, and Zack Baun's night, and
I mean, AJ had a great night.
Blanket chip playing great.
Blanket chip,
2 wide receivers playing great. So, a lot of great. The offensive line, settled in. We were worried about that without Kelsey. So.
Back to look good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's so many.
Again.
There are so many positives. But you just, like you said, when you're watching the game and you have a feel for the sport, and you see it all the time, and and you know how things happen. For 2 turnovers in your own end to hold them to, for that to be 6-0 was the game right there. Didn't guarantee the Eagles were going to win, but it allowed them, not to have to come back from a 14-0 hole.
Yeah, I think one of the big key takeaways was just emotion out of Kellen Moore, which we expected, right? Like that was something we really came in, we expected. I think he did it
Under center. Yeah, it's good to see you under center.
Yep, Devontae was moving, right? A lot of pre-snap motion, right? And get guys moving pre-snap. Find out what teams are in. Help your quarterback out, right? Help your wide receivers get matchups. Okay, and I think they did a good job of that.
Yeah,
right? And that's exciting because we were really vanilla last year. Really vanilla. It felt like the same thing. Guys were lined up in the same spots.
And that's all we were saying. That's all we were calling for. We were just saying, listen, just mix it up. You know what I mean? There's no reason. I don't care if a guy has been there in the shotgun his whole life. He's taken snaps under center from Pee Wee football on. All right. It doesn't matter what he did in college. I get it. Right. But you just practice it. Get with your center and get under there and work on it. Just the normal quarterback stuff. Right. Every quarterback should be under center, whether it's, the offensive coordinator's game plan or not. It just allows you, it opens everything up. If Barkley's killing it, if the line is doing what they're capable of doing, and Barkley's doing his thing, now you're under center and the play action is unstoppable, right? And people will tell you, well, you can still play action from the RPO. It's stupid. It's stupid. Yeah, you can, but it's just, I know I don't like it as much as the traditional. Put it in the belly, take it out, all right, and now wait for something to develop. You know what I mean?
Whatever reaction. Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, it's just, so that's the scary part with, seeing those different looks the other night, thinking about how scary this offense, can be. I don't know if they will be, but they can be.
The other thing too, when you look at it, right, like who did AJ or who did Jalen and who did Kellen Moore call when you needed the big catch or the first down, right? Whose number did they call in that fourth quarter in that last drive? You called number 6, right? Yeah. You called number 6's number, right? He called the one pass, broke a tackle, got a first down. Called the other slant, broke a tackle, got the first down. Right? When you needed it to do, when you needed the play bait, you went to number 6. And he delivered.
That's a great thing to say.
Yeah. Listen, you got a 1 and a 1A. You know what I mean? It's
right.
the same way. It's the same way we talk about the Phillies. People can shit on Noel all they want. You got a 1 and you got a 1A. It doesn't mean, it doesn't take anything away from Wheeler, and it doesn't take anything away from AJ Brown. You know what I mean? Like you got a Robin. You got a Batman and Robin combo here. That's deadly. You know what I mean? And like I said, Smitty could be a 1 for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, most and they complement each other great too.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's always good when they come. I mean, have 2 guys that look the same too. Maybe put 2 AJ Browns out there. That'd be fun.
And he's just so tough. And I mean, and like I said, that was my worry with him on draft night. He's a tiny guy, but he's tough as nails. And every time he gets smoked, you just hold your breath and he pops right back up. It's awesome.
It's like Rod Tid, and it's like it always looks hard. It always looks worse than it is.
Yeah.
Always looks. That's why I said to Len every time he got hit, I said, "This is like Jerry Maguire. It always looks worse than it is." Because those hits are, hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he got picked up on the sideline. He got picked up, and I was like, that guy rode him out of bounds and kind of slammed him. I'm like, god damn.
Oh wow, he got that.
Yeah, huge throw.
Wow. Oh, Matty Stafford.
He's awesome.
That's
so
Devontae Smith is so
Matty's
underrated.
so good.
Talk about him being a great number 2, and that's
hey, what's up, baby?
He's up there with the ones. He's so good. Them together is nasty. Yeah, them together is filthy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Pony. I hear you, brother. Absolutely. He's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, no reason to put a number on it. You know what I mean? You got 2 guys that you count on and 2 guys that do different things. You know, because Devontae can stretch the field if he has to. It's just not really his thing. I mean, you know, like you said, you can send him. But he's just, he's a possession receiver, and he's damn good at it.
Well, listen, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, stay with us all season, stay with us forever.
Let's go.
All right, stick around. Get us. I don't even know where we're at with it, but get us over 50
people on YouTube with only 17 likes. Come on,
get us over 50 right now. Lock in. Right, 50 right now. 50 right this minute. Everybody, get involved. Comment in.
Look at that finger, just right here. Yeah, a little Friday night. Work uphill. Second 12.
D Slayer says also a good showing from Jacoby as well. Oh, I like that pick six. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the pick six. I think he was okay. I think he was all right. I wouldn't necessarily say. I guess everything's good at that position from what it was. So yeah, I didn't think he was bad either. He was all right.
No, I agree. I think there was a few plays that he really made, and then a few plays like a lot of guys that missed. But he like a he left the game healthy, so we're gonna take that as a positive.
Yeah, sure. But he definitely wants that pick six back. I mean, that's that's how you start to make a name for yourself. That's how you start to stamp, put your stamp on a ball game.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you don't lose your position
too.
Well, I was going to say that, Craig. Yeah, that's how you don't lose.
Yep.
That's how you don't lose your spot, babe. You pick six at your start Monday night. When they come back, Devin White ain't starting.
No question about it.
That's you. Why I picked them. Why I picked. I never step on the field the rest of the year. You pick that ball off. That's a big play. Drop it. Here we are. We'll see who starts next week. I don't know who will start at that linebacker spot next week. I'm interested to see.
Oh, did he hold them? Sorry. Yeah, they're going to get the ball back.
It will be interesting, Tommy, because who knows? You go to give the kid who, all accounts through camp beat him out anyway, right? Even pre-injury beat him out, right?
That's what they're supposedly reporting.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, Bill. I mean, you got to be on their center, man. That's just opens everything up. John, not just for Barkley, for everybody. It's the way the position should be played. And there's times when you got shotgun sets. I mean, it's just, to me, being in shotgun, 95% of the time, it's just, a fool's offense. You know what I mean? You see,
yeah. No, it's good. I mean, Jalen from the pocket was like 20 from 27.
Awesome. Yeah.
And outside the pocket, he was terrible outside the pocket.
Garbage.
So, I thought I even said that post game show. I thought that the one positive from him was I thought that he tried to stay in the pocket more, to make throws. Right, he tried to. Right,
he did make some throws. Right, he did make some throws. That ball to Saquon's a dime, and obviously he hit AJ in stride enough to where he could go take it 70 yards. I do though, right? I really liked, as Bill said, I really liked the motion. I thought the few plays that Dotson was in the game, even though he didn't have a snap though, he was all over the field, throwing people off. I brought up on the post game about the way they used Will Shipley in that series. I thought it was really good with all the motion and that free up for another big catch from Devontae, where they thought we were coming with a screen and then he slipped into the zone. So the motion is just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and VDP when we needed to drive, he came through, but he needs to protect the ball. Yeah, I know you're talking 100%. About Jalen, and he has to. There's no listen. I said this is no excuse here. Can't turn the ball over at like alarming rates, and that's an alarming rate. Now I don't give him the fumble, right? Because that looked like that was snapped early, but the second one down in the goal line where Saquon jumped on it. Right, that's on you. That's on you.
The push one, yeah.
Yeah, and essentially there was 3 fumbles mixed. There was 3 turnovers mixed in. that you can
Yeah,
say,
I mean, you're very
one
rare.
is
Yeah.
turn it over.
Like I said, you're very rare. You'd have to go to analytic nerds to give you the exact stat. But you venture to say, you turn the ball over three or more times, you're not winning too many football games. You know what I mean?
No, no, not many at all. Not many at all. So to escape it, like we talked about last year, is nice, but it cannot continue. It cannot, because it will cost you games. It just will. So, big week Monday night coming up. I'm excited. They open up as a 6-point favorite. So the Eagles are 6-point favorite. That game's that game's in Atlanta.
No, it's home too. It's our home opener.
Well, no, because I know Brazil counted as a home opener too.
Yeah, Brazil was a home game. But no, this one is our official home opener.
That's what I thought it was, but then I got confused knowing that Brazil was a home
Monday night. Yep, next Monday night.
Yep. So I mean, listen, that place would be rocking.
I do like the rest, right? The extra couple of days. Primetime Kirk. And they didn't look very good. I didn't watch the game, but if you're not putting up points against the Steelers aren't they're good defense, but they're not the 95 Bears or the 65 Bears or the 75
we got a little bit
Bears.
more help. We got a little bit more help for TJ Watt. I mean, TJ Watt.
He's an issue, man. TJ
Watt
always an issue.
Might be one of the best players on the 85 Bears defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So but I think we have a little bit more of an answer at our tackle positions than a lot of other teams do. But he's a problem. Yeah. Absolute problem. But Evan Lane. And,
good news is we don't have to play TJ. So.
Oh, no. I don't know why. I was just like.
What do they call that? Targeting? No, I agree with you. They look terrible today.
Of course, Laporta. I need Laporta for a touchdown. Does that have any chance? I'm not watching.
He just caught a big ball. I think they targeting.
Okay. So, Lions have the ball, though. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be inside the 35 now. They just
need a tutty. At Cooper Kupp and Laporta.
They went helmet to helmet on Laporta. So
he's dead.
Awesome. He seems to be okay.
No, he's jumping around.
He's up. He's jumping around. Same shit we did in fucking 1995. I mean,
yeah.
I still don't even know where I am sometimes.
Question, Bill says. Honestly, don't know the answer. Can a QB learn to roll out to both sides? Yeah.
It's
I don't know why.
Everything's worked on. I don't know.
Everything's teachable.
That's one-on-one. I mean, we used to. That's like I said. I'm not. I'm sure the pros are 1,000 times is what they do for a living. So it's 1,000 times the high school level. But I mean, at the high school level,
we did all that stuff.
At the high school level, that's what we did. You know what I mean? That's a 27 waggle. It's 27 waggle. Get outside, boom, throw on the run. Now we got to go. 28 waggle. We're gonna go this way. You got to get your shoulders around. You got a tire to throw to. You got receivers to throw to. Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm certain that they do it as a team, but if not individually, yes, absolutely. So, it 100%, Bill. Absolutely. Just a wide open Gibbs, I think. Yep. Gibbs fell. 3rd and 2 for our listeners. They're already in field goal range, I believe. Yes.
I hear it on. My dad's watching in the other room. So I hear
down
it
3 in field goal range. So Gibbs got the first, and now see what they do. Curious to see what they do here. They have 3 in their pocket. Gotta go for the win. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. So is that obviously where you went is new, right? Because it used to be, I think the old place you'd be able to see the Dolphin Stadium, and then like Calder Racetrack was all in that.
Yeah, down in Miami.
Yeah. All 3 of them are right there. So I don't know about the newness. The newness.
Yeah, no, it's definitely new.
Okay.
It's actually the baseball stadium down in like Little Havana.
Oh, okay.
like downtown. It's actually like 2 miles. It's 2 miles from like almost due west of like Heat and the where Hard Rock Stadium is a different area. Not too far away, but a little bit of a distance away. Because on the train. Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. My bad.
No, yeah. Good.
Well, being right-handed, Bill, everybody wants to go that way, and that's why you have to work on
it's just muscle
going to your left.
too.
You got to work on going to your left, and like I said, getting your shoulders around, getting your shoulder square is the key. You know, and obviously, I didn't.
Not an easy throw that way. I mean,
I didn't play quarterback in the NFL, but you know that's stuff that I worked on all the time. You know, getting rolling to your left, getting your shoulder square, and that's it's not an easy. It's not easy, but it's got to be.
Bill, I did it at the freshman and JV level. I didn't even do it at the varsity level per se, right? At practices, and it was the same shit. And that was a few years after sweeps per se, right? So I mean, it's like, and that's I didn't even play varsity quarterback to do it, but like just at those levels, you were doing it.
Yeah.
The both sides. That's how your warm up drills were. A lot of warm up drills. Getting out,
and like I said, in the NFL, they have all the the best stuff in the world. So they have all those nets that all have 9 targets on them. So I can't imagine that you're not doing that every day. I mean, I'd be rolling to my left every day, boom, and then somebody can call out middle left.
Plus a shit ton of interns that throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you had to give real quick, just to circle back on this, and then we'll talk some Phils and we'll do Crumb, and we'll get out of here for the night so we don't go too late. But where was I going now? Oh my goodness, I was gonna comment.
Grade for the win.
Yeah, no, sorry, I got stuck in that comment too by Delco Green. Yeah, the Bears defense looked good for sure. I'm not gonna get one way or the other on under 100 passing yards, but I mean, I think Caleb will get better. But yeah, I think they might be. We talked about them being a dangerous team, maybe if they can grow up a little bit, right? Because they gotta grow up quick. They got a lot of young players on the offense side of the football. So if they can,
I think.
But
if I remember it correctly, I think Caleb Williams was the first rookie to win their opener game since 2002 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, first rookie to start week 1 and get a win.
Wow.
The date could be off, but I thought that's what I read.
CJ won. CJ won a lot last year, but he might not have won on opening day. Yeah, who knows?
Wow, that is wild. All right. What grade? We'll do 2 things. We'll grade offense, defense, coaching staff, and then we'll give a little early prediction next week too.
Cool.
So I mean, I would give the offense probably an A- just because of the turnovers, right, by Jalen. Where they get an A+++++, but A- going to score a lot of points still. And then you guys can give it on all of them. But then I'll get defense. I'd probably give a C+. Those are always stops for big, but then there's a lot of stuff I didn't like in between, right?
My guy's wide open.
Yeah. So there's stuff they got to clean up. And coaching, I'll give a solid B. I thought we were prepared for the most part. I thought we were prepared. We're ready to play in Brazil. Maybe I should give it an A- too, actually. Maybe I'll give coaching an A- because, we were prepared to play football. All the Nick stuff and everything else, this off season and everything else going on. We came down ready to play. So
field goal made 20-20.
They're my grades.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to you. I was just gonna say I was gonna upgrade the coaching staff as well because of the 2 coordinators. Great job by, obviously, like you said, Nick. He's running the ship, and your team's prepared to play in a foreign country and bad conditions, and families are staying home. I would imagine, even though Eagle fans flock there in droves. There was no incidents. It sounded like everything,
Yeah.
everybody, got out unscathed. Which is, thank goodness. But I thought the game plan was great, and I'd say the same thing. A minus, probably an A. You win your first game, in a foreign country against a good opponent. So an A for the coaches. Offense. Yeah, I mean, you score 34 points, can't be, anything other than an A, just with something to it. You know what I mean? So A minus is fine. So 3 turnovers. So yeah, A for coaches, A minus for the offense, and I'll go B minus on the defense. 29 points. Some of it's late. I know they did some bad things, but that stand early on, some huge individual efforts by guys. Blankenship, monster interception. We talked about Baun's night, and Quentin Mitchell, and just some other outstanding. Just tremendous individual efforts. I thought Vic Fangio did a great job, and those 2 stands to me make it at least a B minus. I don't care about the final result. The final result is a W, but that sets the tone. Being 6-0 sets the whole tone. So probably closer to a B, but I'll say B minus.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I'm gonna live in that B range because of everything, right? So I'll go B plus for the offense, just because of the turnovers. 3 turnovers. I don't really want to give an A, but you also scored 34 points, right?
Yeah.
We also
minus.
good, right? No, absolutely, 100%. I'll be honest on the defense. I liked what they did when we needed to. How many times we sit up here, and regardless of what our defense looks like, we just need to stop in a moment, though, right? I don't care what you did before. I don't care what you're going to do after. I need to stop now. Right, and then the defense did show up at that point, right, and got that stop. Coaches, unless I didn't see any, didn't recognize any. There was very few, if any, procedure penalties. There was no, discipline penalties, necessary roughness, right, stuff like that. Or I guess the one with Jalen Carter, it was kind of weak anyway. And then your team's ready to go, so I'll go B plus on the coaches.
Yeah, 7 penalties. You won the penalty battle, and both crews, Thursday night's crew and Friday night's crew, was trying to make a statement for whatever reason. I mean, it was hanky city. I don't know how many were the night before, but you're talking about 17 in that game. So I want to go back and take a peeky poo of Thursday night as well, because
it's been the whole weekend.
Yeah, no,
I was too. Right? You know what I mean?
Only 13 on Thursday night. That's rare. I can't believe that. I went way over if you told me it was 13 penalties Thursday night. I saw nothing but yellow.
Yeah.
Our third quarter was a lot of yellow, it felt like.
Yeah.
The third quarter felt like it was 2 days. Right?
Yeah.
Two freaking days. Next week's predictions, I'm going to stay at that 34 range. Early prediction, 34-21. I think it should be a double-digit win next Monday night. So 34-21. We usually always play Kirk Cousins well.
Yeah, we kind of own him, which is good.
So it's a guy we were able to get after usually. Not a guy who can move as much as like Jordan Love can, obviously. So maybe a game where you can see some of these edge guys. These edge guys get after the quarterback a little bit, and it'd be nice. Get a couple sacks.
Yeah, their defense is.
I didn't hear you.
I don't know
Jordan's
if their
not moving
better
anymore.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if their defense is better than the Packers, but their defense is better. They got Matthew Judon, and they've made some upgrades.
Oh yeah, they're not bad.
The Steelers aren't the greatest show on turf. I get that. So, but I think they're better on defense. They're better on defense than they were. So I'm looking like a 27 burger. They're going to come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. I mean, everybody was giving them props and had them as the Q pick this year. So doesn't mean they're going to come in here and win. I'm not saying they can't win, but I'm saying I think you might get their best shot. So I'm looking at it like a 27-21 Birds.
31-17.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Get us at home, and we're gonna wreck some shop.
Yeah, we'll see how I feel by Wednesday, right? Sunday, like I said, they opened up -6 at home.
Yeah.
So about where you think it would be. And I agree with sweeps. Mine even could be a late TD late to get to 34, right? That like closing time drive. So there's a lot of ways it can go.
Sure.
Cotton Ball says 40-21 Eagles. Oh, that's fun. Getting into the 40s. If we score 34 and 40 in the first 2 weeks, the city's going to be, I just think we score even
it's
34.
Be unsufferable. You're right.
Yeah. Like, bro, we get 34 again.
There's no coming back from this. There's no
coming back. If he turns the football over
this.
two times again, and we score 30 and we score 34 again, we're like, we're just like, it's like last year, except we can't be stopped. It's like last year, but the only way we can get stopped is by Jalen throwing the ball into your hands, going in your lap. Patty says 31-20.
Tony boy.
Yeah, I want to live on that 17 number. I was close to Pat's, but I want this defense to live in that 17 range. And I think against Kirk Cousins we can.
I agree, Greg. It'd be nice to see them with like that. That's why I said 21, right?
No, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, like get after a quarterback, right? Great, like they made some big plays, but like be dominant in today's NFL, right? Like 17-21 to me is like you're playing really good football that day in today's world, right? It's just different. Points are scored, for most teams. There's just bad teams, obviously. There's some teams that cannot score, but
and
majority of teams,
one of them, right? We know Raheem Morris has gotten a chance before. Right. So it's not like he's this greatest thing. And plus, he's a defensive guy.
Well, I mean, listen, you're an organization that signed the quarterback to a lot of money and then drafted one.
Drafted one with the 12th pick, right? 11th or 12th pick.
And who knows? Yeah, like you said, we don't know what kind of scheme, we don't know, who's going to be assigned to who. You know what I mean? Vic might switch it off. He might, who knows what he's going to do. But, it could be, a chance for Baun to, have 2 monster weeks in a row. And that's when people say, all right, maybe this dude's here to stay, because Bijan's a little bit of an issue out of the backfield. You know what I mean? 7 targets, 7 targets today, 5 for 43. So like I said, I'm not saying he's going to be covering them, but there might be a time when he's going to have to run with them, or he's going to have to, who knows? I said, I don't know what they're going to do, but that could be the X factor for the Falcons, to see if they can get him on the edge and try to exploit a mismatch for them,
Hoodie J says, I just want to see White play in the Eagles uniform at the link. We got to see how White does. I agree with you, man. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I also have no problem with Nakobe winning a job either, because we drafted him to win a job. So I mean, you can look at it both ways. This isn't pom-pom for Devin. It's just he has. He's had more success at this level. But if a guy beats you out, he beats you out. And that's a guy you drafted to beat somebody out. So I would have no problems either way. But I would like to see it. Now, it comes down to, listen, like Isaiah Rodgers. Does Isaiah Rodgers get on the field now? Q looked great on the outside. So does he get on the field, or does he have to go, or does he get slotted inside? Is he more playing in the slot? So there's gonna be some interesting things that, thank God I don't get paid to answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is good to have these types of things.
Good to have the depth.
Yeah, I need Rodgers inside too, Hoodie J. I mean, that's where I assume he'll go, unless they just feel like Quinyon can play it better. I mean, it might just be that too, which isn't a shot, dude. You're starting. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're starting. They just might feel like he's quicker. Yeah, he might be quicker. I don't know. Yeah, Bill, I'm not going to read your comment about Crumb because that's where I was going to go. But yeah, we'll do. I mean, listen, Phil's struggling. There's not even a lot to get into with the Phils. Not struggling, but this series was a struggle. It was a joke, actually. It was comical. Last two nights were comical. Comical. Can't happen. We were just crushing the Marlins. Yeah, Friday night we're making fun of the Marlins, and today we're like,
we get no hit.
It's got another hit. It's got another hit.
And we get no hit. And it's like we talk about all the time, right? There's no middle ground with these Phillies teams. Obviously, you got to go win every game, right? We end the week road trip 4-6 or 4-2. We should be happy with that, right? But like the ending two games just totally change your mindset on what you just watched all week because there's no middle ground. It's either we're scoring 75 runs or we're getting no hit from nobody.
Yeah.
Like there was no effort today. Like you thought after getting trounced yesterday, even though you scored 5 runs, that game wasn't really ever close, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you thought you'd come back and answer today, try and rally around a kid making his first start. Granted, he didn't miss a barrel. No. Felt bad. I think his family was right near us. So he's walking off the field and his family's ended up clapping for him. Felt bad for the kid because he didn't miss a barrel. But like, there was no emotion in that team today. It was just despicable.
Yeah, it really is.
And there's a lot of fans that travel with this team right this time, right? Like they're good now, so fans travel. This isn't 5 years ago Phillies, 6 years ago Phillies, where no one cared where you were. Like no one traveled to see you. People are gonna take a trip to Miami in September to come see you.
No, not the series you want to go to for sure. Yeah. But as a fan, buyer beware because they've never played well there. So
and like you said, sometimes you get spoiled. I know what Greg's saying, and listen, you don't want to get blown out. And
no,
look like you're disinterested. So that's a disheartening thing. But losses are going to happen. I mean, I think what they did 8 in a row before the Saturday and Sunday, 6 in a row, 6 straight.
No, 100%. Like I said, we should be like high horse, praising them almost because they're kind of back, right?
Yeah, but you want like on the flip side. Yeah, on the flip side, you want to.
Listen, last night can happen.
You want to be killers.
Last night can happen. Tonight can't. It's as simple as that. Last night that shit happens.
And now as you prepare, and now as you prepare, and I agree with you guys because now as you're downshifting, it's September. It's September 8th. You're downshifting and you're heading downhill and you're ready for the playoffs. We're looking, be a killer. There's what's wrong. We understand it's baseball, but what's wrong with taking all 4? What's wrong with sweeping a 4-game series?
Yeah.
At a place that's been a house of horrors for you, and then all of a sudden, you saw what happened in Game 6 and 7 last year. So that's what we're saying, trying to avoid that mentality, that complacency, that home run or nothing complacency, or not complacency, that home run or nothing mentality.
I think I'm gonna score a touchdown right here.
Tom's arms are up.
Like, no, I didn't get in. Yeah, you're ahead of me too, so you're gonna ruin it for me either way.
No, I'm not ahead of you, buddy. He just got down to the 1 for me, buddy.
Oh, see, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there. Oh, you were just saying. Okay, I got it.
Like I just don't have a touchdown. I just can't have a touchdown.
Yeah, well.
The field goal's fine. Like I had the Rams. The 5
down.
felt good. The 5 felt good.
Oh my God, he's down to the 1. Jesus.
Can you go to Laporta? Can it be Laporta?
Not from the 1. It's probably gonna. That's Montgomery's in.
Touchdown vulture.
Yeah,
the vulture.
It's on me. It's on me. I get back into the game. I logged in. I didn't realize I had 40 bucks on the account. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize I had 40 in the account. And I was like, oh, wow. All right. Let's get after it. So I come back 15. No, I won a couple bucks today. And I come back tonight, 15 on them. We're going light. A fumbled snap would be great. Go fuck yourself, Don. I mean, I'm more than willing to give you the win. Wherever you're at tonight, I know where you're at. Right, Don? I'm more than happy for you to get the win. I just can't have you with the 6.
20. Right? It was 17-3. They came all the way back.
Bill's got us winning 48-20, by the way.
Whoa.
Flex all.
Yeah, my crumb of the week's Brad Ryder. All right, because we all know about his antics on the book.
Montgomery.
We already know all about his antics on the book, but he continues to call Saquon she. And I just find it so amusing. And I find it amusing when guys that run to the rings. And then so I say to the guy, you didn't play. You never wore those rings. So doesn't he try to tag me, but he doesn't know how to tag right. And a picture wearing 2 rings that aren't his. All I say is they're not yours. And he's like, you don't have
somebody else's rings.
Yeah, he's like, well, you never wore any. Well, technically I have. It's not at that level, but technically I have. So you can't say I haven't. And he's like, he's just him. He's just the worst. And they keep calling him she. Like, you would never say that to that guy's face ever. Like, certain guys, like, yeah, maybe in the league you'd be like, I might say to Darius, I might call him a she. I ain't calling Zaquan she. You look at the body difference. I mean, I ain't going. You're a she. Yeah, he squats your whole
squat 650.
Yeah, they squat your car. It's squat you and can grab somebody else, right? So I mean, there's certain guys you steer away from, but he's just the worst. He told me how washed up he was. Can't have any ownership in it. Doesn't have ownership in it. He's not washed. Has he got hurt at times? Yeah, but he's not washed.
Oh,
His thing he was washed was just comical. You know what I mean? You guys that work out that hard don't get washed. You've seen running backs go a little longer, at that with that kind of skill level too. That's all. Keep mine short and sweet. Feeling good this week. So really, it was Giants fans in general. Just Giants fans in general. That's all it was from all of them, and then a lot of them backpedaled. After the first game, like, no, I wasn't it. We told you, it was good. We just. It just but now you see. Because a lot of you were trying to justify to Daniel Jones. We're trying to justify. Well, now we can get offensive lineup for Daniel Jones. Now we finally can spend the money. I mean, that aged well too after 1 week. And I don't expect it to get better in New York because that team stinks. Stinks, and I love it. I love that they stink.
Out loud.
Love it. Even more than Cowboys fans. Like, I love when the Cowboys stink, but I'm not like, my rival has always been more up the turnpike to me. You know what I mean? Closer to home, right? Those losers, because they always want to talk about Philly and how great New York is. New York's a shithole. All right.
Shithole.
All right. So
certified shithole.
Yeah, and you're not, the team's not even in New York. All right. It's in the fucking Meadowlands, for Christ's sake. So it's in the worst part of New Jersey. Nobody goes there. Nobody goes to that part of New Jersey.
Just Hoffa.
All right. So that's all. I mean, I know New York fans are more diehard than Cowboys fans for sure, but my hatred runs up there because and especially with the guy, he's washed. He's that. It's just funny. Now they're burning Daniel Jones jerseys. Should have burned those 3 years ago. I could have told you to burn those a long time ago. But you guys kept wanting to think this is going to be his year. This is going to be Danny's year. Donnie, go fuck yourself. All right. I needed that. I had the Rams +5, Don. Congrats on the win, brother. Congrats on the win.
Don, what's up, buddy?
Thanks for the support. I appreciate it.
Got a little hairy there. Yeah, I appreciate St. Brown showing up. That was nice. Nice effort out of him.
That was fun.
You get overtime, and you're like,
we can just absolutely, I don't want to use the word, destroy me.
Yep, tough. I hear you, Pony. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Forget about it. I don't forget about it.
They're the worst. They're the worst.
I was telling you guys before, mine's Antonio Pierce. Love Antonio Pierce. Loved everything he did last year. This is more of like, what happened was crummish, right? But more of like a public service announcement, or just me talking to the camera and me kind of just talking to Antonio and just giving him some advice from one old head to, listen, buddy, do not change who you were last year. That got you the job, right? They took away the interim tag. They gave you the job. You got to be a Riverboat Campbell. You got to be the guys in the locker room want to run through the wall for you, but not if you make decisions that out of fear, right? 16-10 games, 7 minutes to go, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, in Charger territory, not, in one of those gray areas. And he punts. He wanted to rely on his defense. All right. And then, Dobbins breaks one, they go down, Chargers score, game's over. And so just a little advice there, Antonio. Just stay after it the way you did last year. You finished up, that got you the job. All right. These jobs don't grow on trees. All right. Don't coach scared, my friend. Don't coach scared.
Brian, appreciate the super chat.
I appreciate the super chat, but I definitely didn't pick the Packers. I said the Packers weren't going to be very good.
Yeah.
And now without Jordan Love, that's going to come to fruition. So the idiot is right for once.
What up, Todd?
Todd Womack, what up, brother? Haven't seen Todd in a while.
Oh, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Philly,
all right,
Philly, brother.
Yeah.
Hope all is well, man.
Yeah, missed you, brother. Glad you're back. Let's go.
I was gonna not go the easy route in Crumb, Colorado, and Dion and Shador, right? I was gonna lay off them and go directly to the Phillies, but I saw a press conference today, and I gotta narrow down and zoom in on Shador Sanders again. You're up there, you're fifth year, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, right, Shador? And you're up there, you're gonna throw your freshman wide receiver under the bus and say it was his mistake that you threw that pick six? You're gonna say it was his mistake? You want to be a top pick in the draft? You want to be a franchise quarterback? And that's your leadership? That's your leadership, is throwing your rookie your freshman wide receiver, probably one of the 75 transfers that was brought into town, and you want to throw him under the bus? Like I said, we could talk about everything else, whatever, right? That's all antics anyway. But from a quarterback standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, just take it on yourself, or just say it's something we got to fix. You don't throw the kid under the bus. You're going to need that kid. You're going to need, because he's one of the kids. If he's a freshman, he's not a transfer, right? So he's one of those program builders that you're going to need, that most of college football is built around. Right? I just thought it was just ill-advised to throw the kid under the bus to absolve you from making that throw.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's not what you do. He needs to understand, and I would imagine that, dad or somebody would advise him that every time you open your mouth, it's an interview. It's an interview. All right. You're wherever you're going to fall in the draft, wherever you're going to go, every time you open your mouth, everybody's looking for everything. All right. They're just, that's how they have to, that's how you have to, sometimes that's the difference in, hey, a guy might be talented, but how is this guy's character? How's this guy off the field? You got all that stuff goes into the blender. Right. And you see that, when you get drilled, I don't know if you guys watched, you guys obviously hate the Giants, but I love everything about Hard Knocks. So watching the off-season Giants was pretty cool. Just seeing them because it was around the draft time, So just having seeing Dable talk to all the big quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it was just awesome. Just awesome. You know what I mean? And just, hey, draw me a play. Draw me your favorite play. You know what I mean? It's deeper than that. They're just, they're looking for your football IQ. But they're looking for, like you said, leadership, how you carry yourself. Can you take the pressure? Can you play under the big lights? Wherever you see, wherever you end up, the NFL is the cat's meow. You know what I mean? So can you handle that pressure? And by pointing the finger at people, that's your first failure.
Yep. They'll come back to bite you in the ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely will. All right, boys. Great show.
Good work.
Good shit.
See you guys all next Wednesday night. It's been Agree to Disagree. ATD Radio, brought to you by our doc. Make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal. Specialized physical therapy. Location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. For Greg Milwakovic, Nick Delgazzo, I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, love you, appreciate you. Fly Eagles fly. We'll see you on Wednesday night. We out.